Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Just a sec. I've got everything open up. I just gotta get it in the right spot. Because, of course, I'm on YouTube. I'm exclusively on YouTube going live, but I do have my chat room open for Twitch. That's also Nikki. I'm Carlin. What is up to Erica and Michael? Glad you made it. Uh, Erica, yeah, Frank has a premiere going up at 8 p.m. That's an hour from now. A premiere is just something you've seen before. So that's just clips from prior shows that he's put into a thing to put up around the time he's usually online because he takes roughly every other Friday off in the summer. That's what he says, but I think it's going to continue into the fall. Pardon me, you can't see that, but I can. What's up, Dill? Glad you made it. Michael's got the right idea. Well, 80008, so they're kind of spread apart. That's close. The area code we're going to have in Franklinville is 80085. So if there's another area out west that's already using it, tough. Tough titties, literally. We're taking it. But you're in the right spot. A top hat. It's just, oh my goodness. Like, since Saturday, it's just been humid. It's just been humid. Like, it hasn't been up. Like, it's 85 in here today. So that's totally tolerable. I can deal with over 100 degrees. I'll just, hold completely still. The problem is the humidity along with it. That just, you know how humidity is. That makes it not fun. Michael said, sorry, ma'am, I was listening to country music. Oh, no, you didn't just break up with somebody, did you? John McHugh, what's up? And Kara, glad you made it. Oh yeah, so if my hair is a wreck, it just did nothing but want to fight, and then I look like I'm going balder, and I'm so absent-minded from the heat. It was not even 20 minutes ago. I'm getting ready, and I realized I didn't watch my own show today because I usually watch my last show the same day, so I have just seen my own show. I didn't, so I don't know what happened last time. That's okay. I'm pretty good about not repeating myself. And then, what's up to Arden? Glad you made it. And John Rogers, glad you're here. Definitely want to take your pants off. I've got my shorts over there to remind myself that if I stand up, I'm just wearing a shirt and knickers, so it's I'm not doing any damage to the furniture. Patrick, glad you made it. Hope you're well. Made it just in time. Yeah. It's just sticky. It's just blah. It's just, I can't spend my time lying on the heating pads when it's hot because, while you can do that, you can physically lay on heating pads when it's hot out. You're not going to feel good after a while, and it probably make yourself sick. It does not feel good. It's probably how you have heat stroke. So, no thank you. So you can't even really lie down because even if you're still I don't use air conditioning at all. It will just make me just give me back spasms. So I don't have like the Percocet to counteract that. I don't need to sleep all day and be in pain. That's just winter. One thing it has been like my neck was able to pop. I was less creaky, like just like a little bit of back and knee pain, but it's not worth it to feel so miserable just to have a little bit of pain relief. So with that in mind, I want to check out that dry heat they have in Arizona. We owe you, Bill Cooper, over in Twitch. What's up? Hotter than a snake's ass here. Oh, damn, good one. Haven't heard that before. Dill said it was only 65 degrees in Pennsylvania today. You son of a bitch. Ah, why can't that should have been me. back at 90 tomorrow. I think someone is effing with us. Like, we did get rain at one point, and like as much of a downpour as it is, it doesn't last. So then after you give it about an hour and a half and you feel the humidity come back in, like, remember me? It's like, fucker, you've been here all week. So that wasn't good. It has been the last couple of nights. It has been getting so cool, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to keep the window open, to just let some kind of breeze come in. But the sun is right there, like that's the east. So I get sun hitting the window no matter what, and you can only block it off so much. It is what it is. It's got me eating a little bit more. I realize my way is to just maybe eat. Let's say around 4 o'clock, maybe 5:30 if it's I'm going to the quite frankly chat room. I eat earlier than that when I do my own show. You can't really do that when it's hot out because you do need to stay hydrated. But then if you're just drinking with nothing in your stomach, you're just running into the bathroom every half an hour, and that gets boring. Like, I'm sick of seeing the same room all day. So you kind of have to eat. So if you're dieting in its extreme heat, be very careful. You do not want to, nothing, taste as good as being thin feels, but it's not worth it to literally fall out and have a medical episode just because you want to be skinny. You do have to learn when to go on hiatus, and extreme temperature is one of those things. Like, please don't be pushing yourself. If you run, I don't know, 30 miles a day, I don't know, cut it back some. Like, really do look out because you don't realize how much more you need to hydrate when it's this hot because you're like, I'm still doing the same stuff. I got pretty much the same energy. And then suddenly just you hit the slump and it creeps up on you. Lisa Gray, glad you made it. One to go to, glad you're here. Sweet. Yeah, Erica's here. Dandy's here. Glad you made it. Yeah, it's not an extreme temperature. It's just this humidity, and I don't like watch weather really anywhere. So, like, people in Tennessee were talking about getting rain. So I get the feeling there might be rain in states or like lower in my state that make things cool down, but we don't get that direct rain that like we could use it. My car can use a wash. Dill, I'm eating dinner. Treated myself today. King salmon. Yum. Nice. Patrick Saturday here. Just. Big day Sunday for Dandy and me. Yeah, they got something going on Sunday. Your strippers should be there on time. Frankly's get strippers for their birthdays. You are dumb too. Glad you made it. Said I smoke weed in all kinds of weather. I just don't inhale. Nhail. Nice, nice. Yeah, you don't want like the hail rocks hitting your joint and then you're just sober and pissed off with no weed. John Ryder's breeze feels good right now. Yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of a breeze at night. Like, please blow in, come in here, come right in, come right in. Oh man, it's okay. It's I got through. I was taking like 500 milligrams of caffeine, and I ran out of the 200 milligram pills. So I went from 500 one day to like now I'm on 300. It's like, am I tired because of the caffeine or because of the heat? I'm too hot to care. So it's kind of fine. I'm on I drank some Monster. Don't drink Monster. It has sucralose in it. I only drink it to perform. Don't do what I do. Take my advice. There's no fucking way I'm making coffee in this heat. That's what the hell it is. I don't care what part of this apartment. I'm not heating it up. I don't want to. I'll have to let it sit there and get cold. And I can't drink cold coffee. But then you gotta wait. It's like, well, what if I wanted it now? And then you just, all I want is like warm coffee, and I'm stuck drinking this, and it can wait. It can wait. It's not that serious. I don't have an addiction to coffee. Michael asked if did I watch Frank Stodder's first production. I saw Frank did go live earlier. It was, I want to say, right at noon, because we get a message in Discord, and Frank tags everybody talking about he was going live, and he did say last night keep your notifications on for something. You are dumb too. Ask if I'm a stripper. No, I don't have the body for it, and my self-esteem's too high, and I don't have daddy issues, so no. I have no rhythm. I can't dance. Oh, but I did see Frank went live, and it was like himself and his daughter. Um, I just skip it. I don't need to see what she's. I don't dislike his daughter. Like, maybe I missed a good catchphrase she said there, and then, that's just my loss. But I just get a little bit weird about showing up just for the man and his child. It kind of creeps me out a tad bit. I kind of sort of don't want to see the people who get enthusiastic about that because it's his personal choice to put his daughter on camera. That's fine. She seems okay with it. That's fine too. But what I don't like is when people are in the quite frankly chat room talking about, oh, Frank, we haven't seen your daughter in a while. Show us a picture. Show us pictures of your minor child, Frank. Type, enter. People really like they don't say it that way. But it's like, okay, you're a grown ass adult sitting in a public chat room asking a man for photos of a minor, and I realize we're doing it in a cutesy way. I get it, I do, but we don't know what their intentions are behind those statements. Maybe they just mean, oh, they just want to see her because that's Frank's child. Maybe they want to see her because they're a pervert. We don't know. You can't know. That's the fun of the internet. Anybody could be a pervert, so you just have to be careful all of the time. It's like real life. So it kind of creeps me out. So I skipped that, and I didn't know if Frank was gonna have coffee and be tapping on it, and I didn't know how long it was gonna be, and just with my eyes feeling so tired. I don't know if it's from the lack of caffeine or the depression and the tiredness that goes along with that. Or like 2 days ago, I woke up and my eyelid, like just on the side, it was just a little bit puffy. And it's mostly gone away. Like I didn't hit it or nothing. It just was like that. And then I woke up today, and this was probably my fault. I had some Chinese food last night, and I forget that makes me swell up like I'm allergic to something. And this is the eye that I fell asleep on back in December, and it was like fucked up for weeks, and I couldn't see, and like so now if I lay on my face too long, if I sleep on that side too long, or if something just wants to swell up on my face, it's going to be my right eye. So I woke up with like both of my eyes kind of swollen like this. Maybe I'm tired just because everything's so friggin'. I was still waking up. It was just not. Dandy, I've had to cut back on coffee this summer too. Yeah. I have heard people say, well, if you drink something hot, it makes you feel cool. But yeah, I'm not going to go through all the hassle to make hot drinks. I'm just drinking like the water, and I'm putting salt in it. I didn't grab my water. Uh, it can wait. I knew I was gonna forget that. Lisa Grace said, you're having surf and oh, yeah. Lisa says to Dill, you're having surf, and my turf is Moose Burger spaghetti. Grams are due for a weekend visit, so I made a double sauce. Whoa! So instead of meatballs, it's like moose balls. Lisa said, woohoo, it is actually 60 here. So much rain, though. See, you can send that to us. Like, well, like, I'll trade you for some cold. You can have some heat. We can keep that going. Erica said, not a good idea with kids and videos. Yeah, just because it is a public stream. You don't know everybody online. And say there's 500 people watching, but only 10 people chatting. You don't know what those other people are doing. Maybe they're recording it for themselves. Maybe they're going to download it later. You don't know what they're doing with that information. Maybe nothing. Maybe something. Do you want to take the chance? That's a personal choice. Because if I watch a show with Frank's daughter, how am I going to talk about her when I don't say her name? It makes it kind of hard. So I just sort of wait for her to do something on the regular show, or maybe she just drops the most epic, catchphrase ever for the entire show. We just have to, like, we could run with that, but it's a little bit weird. But more power to her. graduating college and everything. Dill said it's MSG, and this and the Chinese food does the same to me. Yeah, I forgot all about that. It's like, I need to have a little something before, quite frankly, and I usually don't buy it. It's microwave food too, so that's bad for you. Just something to nuke real quick and eat, and just like, oh, this is enough calories. I hope it doesn't do anything to me later. Oh, I feel fine. I kind of fell asleep a little bit early. Understandable. Wake up like, oh, what the fuck? Did I sleep on my? And then like I get like this like line, like this hard like line here. I don't know if that's from swelling or just pushing my skin up, and it's so pretty in the morning. Michael said, agreed on all those points, etc. Now go just watch Frank's face. It's what men are supposed to be. Arn said, ideally your kid should be Anon. Yeah, it's one thing I did like because I used to follow the channel Two Set Violin, and then they went from a music channel to a meme channel, and they also started working with the fella I think is a pedophile, so I'm not going to say his name. Um, but it was just creepy because these guys, like, their content on the whole is for basically school age children or people who are like in college going to school for music. So you do get a lot of, you realize you're in a room with mostly probably minors. Don't be swearing in the comments, acting a fool. Like, don't just behave the way you would in public. But one thing they would do is some people would post like fan art, or if they bought some merch, they'd want to show off a shirt, stuff like that. So they did post a lot of pictures. And like thinking back on it now, this is about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer, what they all did was they would like either like blur their face or just take a picture that ended at the neck, or like they would take like some random emoji and that would cover their face, or like they would just even just like take the picture and just hold something in front of their face. Now I don't know if that was a policy on the Reddit, but I'm glad they all did it. Like every single one of those pictures, it's like, thank you for not showing us your face, because this is a public place. Anybody can look at these photos, take these photos, do whatever they want with these photos. So it's like, I'm glad either they thought of that, or their parents are like, hey, you can post a photo, but they can't see your face, and proceeded like that. Dale says, Michael, no, I never use it, but every time I eat Chinese, I get puffy eyes. Ugh. You know what? Not to be racist, but the way like my eyes get puffy, maybe Chinese people like their eyes get puffy too, so that's why they look like that a little bit. Because I know that's how my eye looks when it gets swollen like that. It just swells up. Remember when Frank, that picture of Frank, and he said he was wrestling with Gumby, and he like fell and he busted his head on the edge of the coffee table, so he had like that terrible. It looked like he like was Italian on one side, Asian on the other side, but it just looked like he had this like super dark blue eye shadow, which was very it was the mid '80s, I would assume, so that was still in style, like that. I'll still F up some fried rice though. Let me grab my water, realize I'm not wearing pants and I'm on camera. This is not that kind of channel. We are not on Twitch. I am not a Twitch thought. I don't even have video games on my channel. Speaking of video games, I'll start with this, even though I saw it today. Where to begin? Sometimes I do wear Gray Still Plays merch, so that's why you see the link in the description to his store. I'm not affiliated with the channel. I don't make a penny off of anything that man earns. I'm just a super fan, and I like his Not Today Satan stuff, so that's why I have it linked, because he has a whole line of that. So if you want a shirt that says Not Today Satan and Gray Still Plays, he has it at graystillplays.com. So he tweets just about every day. Um, and it tweets something about long story short, GrayStillPlays.com is down, but don't worry, we're working on it, revamping it, and we want to bring you stuff you want to buy. So I'm like, okay. Now I haven't bought anything from there in a year. Uh, Thanksgiving ish, and like every once in a while I'll click over there to everything's very like dark, very easy to find, very well laid out, very easy to navigate. So I'm like, oh, I've never seen the Gray Still Play shop down before. Let me click over there, see what it looks like. Will it even load? So I go over there. Let me just do it now. Now, I have nothing to do with Gray Still Plays, so I have nothing to do with his website. I didn't design it. It has nothing to do with me. Having said that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, but somebody should apologize. I'll apologize because when you go there, what is this? What's all this pink? Where'd the black go? Look, it looks like, what does this look like? I don't know what website looks like this. Who? It, it's the biggest clusterfuck. Everything's moving. There's stuff moving on the screen. There's optional music. No. Oh my god, dude. What the hell? It's like the early 90s threw up all over that thing. So if you go there and you buy something and it's a clusterfuck, I'm sorry. That had nothing to do with me. Nobody's going to apologize for that. I'm apologizing for that. But I never, sorry, my hands are sweating. I never go there, so it doesn't, affect me from day to day. But what does is the fact that the man has not been putting 80s music in his videos, in his GTA videos for the last maybe 2 weeks. So I'm too happy about that to care about his website. Oh, well. William Bill Cooper, Facebook, got folks to let their guard down and their common sense leave. It began an avalanche of too much information digitally, in my humble opinion. Yeah, people will post on Facebook every picture they take of their family, every conversation they have, every argument they have, every single place they go to, and they're basically cyber stalking themselves. So if you want to stalk somebody, all you have to do is follow their page. Like, you can't really be stalking if you're like, I'm just following a page. It's not my fault they're putting every single thing of their life out there. Michael said, LOL, I've never seen Nikki scurry before. Yeah, it's usually not this warm. I just didn't want to sweat through my shorts. Oh, are we getting historical here? Arden's like not a fan of Richard III, Patrick. Ugh. Do you know how much English history I've forgotten? William Bill Cooper did a ninth grade computer science class, designed that site, asking for a friend. I don't know what that is. Just like the extra stuff moving around. That's a new one on me. Like, you've surpassed QFTV and Pill with that move, Gray. Holy shitballs. Like, I would have to really want something terribly bad to put myself through that to order something. And there's music. Damn. Hopefully the prices have not changed. I didn't get that far because I don't need to buy anything right now. But oh my goodness gracious, everything is like whatever you can add on to it. It's like that meme of like maybe 30 kill screens from different video games layered on top of each other, so it's just a hot mess. It's like that. And then you have to order something off of it. But the Saturday show, was that 6 days ago now? So Frank had on Jeff, it's his dad's cousin, and it's also he's also Frank's godfather. Jeff is the one with his hair that it's blacker. It's blacker than Jupiter Gulinello's hair. It's blacker than the black bars on the sides of the screen. It's we were joking around. I think I said something like when you stare into the abyss, Jeff's hair stares back at you. It's seriously the black. It's blacker than the black paint that's on the wall behind him. And you can tell he's a straight man from that. Like, you gotta love him because a gay guy would know to go like for super dark brown, whereas a straight guy does not know that. So if you can't tell if he's gay or straight, look at check out the hair. You don't do that. But he's in he does radio. That's his been his job for like 35, 40 years. So he's in the business. And they got into talking about the Beach Boys, and they started bringing up songs, and I'm realizing like I know a lot more Beach Boys songs than I realized. Damn. And he is just like that. That was his band. That was like how Jerry Coogan is about the Beatles. Jeff is about the Beach Boys, and he's just talking about every song and the production of it, and just like who was there that day. Like, dude knows all the ins and outs of it. And then I was sitting there thinking it was okay. It's Anthony's there, Frank's there, Anthony, the first Anthony's there, and Jeff's there. Think, wow, Marianne should be there. I wonder where El Biro is. Like, she should get in on this conversation. She was there for this stuff. And then after about 30 minutes, Frank's like, hey mom, pick up that microphone and say, I'm like, she's there. You could have told us. But she was there too, sitting on the couch. We couldn't see her, but she had a microphone, so we heard her eventually. And at one point, Frank asks his mom, well, he kind of asked just a general question, but it was mostly directed towards his mom. But then, like, Jeff had an answer, so he spoke. And then I was typing, I'm like, yeah, the chat room's going to think, or like people listening are going to think Frank's mom and Jeff have the same voice. And she was in the chat room, so she LOL'd at that. But she did talk, so we did get to hear her voice. Michael said, my Aunt Gloria approves of your gayness critique. Yeah, it's just stuff that it's nothing against. I'm not saying like every straight guy should know what color to dye their hair. It's okay to not know things because of your orientation. That's just how you know. It's because if he was sitting there, like I have like super dark brown hair and a whole bunch of like grays, and it's mostly white and silver. I don't know if I have any gray hair in the bald spot. But if he was gay, he would know to go. You don't go pitch black. You don't go like like the Heart of Darkness black, carcinogenic, midnight during an eclipse black. So so he did the Dick Clark thing and just said fuck it and go for like black ink. But a gay guy would know to go for just a dark red, something that looks a little bit more natural, since the not to assume anybody's age, but once you start to look of a certain age, the darker your hair is, like the less gray, the more suspicious it is. It looks more obvious that you're dyeing your hair. So don't sit there and try to lie and say you don't dye your hair when you like were there when all the Beach Boys songs came out and you don't have any gray hair. I'm not knocking the dude at all. He seems cool as hell to hang out with because he knows so much about music. I kind of feel like we're a little bit familiar with him because he's basically Frank's family, so it's okay to rip into the guy a little bit. He would take it well. He would take it well. He seems like he has a good sense of humor, even though he's not the type to like sit there and tell jokes. He stays in his lane. He knows his strengths. William Bill Cooper, I am a straight guy, and now I know that too, Nikki. Thank you. Did you just make me gay? Heck, if you dye your hair, then you would know. Like if you do have, dark brown hair, don't go for like jet black eyebrows, because then they're just gonna stick out and make you look like you're from the mid-90s and you don't know how to apply your makeup. Go for just like a slightly lighter brown that's still, in that dark area to make it look normal. And Michael's got to dye his hair. Oh, Lisa Gray said, Nikki, I found out about the Keto Brains ordering dilemma you spoke about, and my order from 10 days ago is somewhere in the Alkin Highway, I guess. Tracking states July 5th arrival. How are you supposed to set off fireworks with no Keto Brains? Usually with them, it takes about a week for it to get here, which is fine. I don't like the fact that it costs like $8.78, almost $9. I can wait a week. I can wait two. I can wait a whole fucking month to not pay any shipping and handling, but it's unavoidable. That's just the notification for Frank's premiere, which is something you've already seen. I don't understand about them. Like they can't find Alaska. Just go up. Just go to the edge of Canada and just follow the coast up. You'll figure it out when you start seeing polar bears. That's how I would do it. I mean, I'm not an explorer, but I sort of have a sense of direction. What's that doing there? That'd be funny if that landed on the table. John McHugh, yeah, Billy Idol, white hair for years. Yeah, just if you start going gray early, just go with it and just go full on with it. Why not? Oh, Jenna, glad you made it. So her tone is medium brown. That's cool. I thought about dyeing my hair black, and then I just realized it would make my eyebrows look even more sparse. I would look too ethnic. So no, it's just no. If anything, I would dye the gray out of it and just keep my natural color. But I used to dye my friend's hair all of the time because he had sort of when he was a kid he was ginger, but then when he grew up his hair was just a dark brown. But he would always dye his hair blonde, and I was the one to do it. And so, like to put on the gloves and the chemicals and the waiting and all that kind of stuff, and you rinse it out, all that. So it was enough doing that for him. It's like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna be bent over a sink, hurting my back, just to make my hair a different color. I don't even see my hair. I only see my hair now. I can see it, and when I'm in the mirror, like brushing my teeth or washing my face or something. But the rest of the time, it's clipped back. I really don't even know it's there. So I don't I would really just like I was doing. I would just pulling out the gray hairs in front and just whatever in the back because I can't see it. Michael said frosting my tips immediately. Great, it's 1991 there. Oh, NT 691. Glad you made it. Said Nikki, my favorite mod on Frank's channel. Just catching you live now. Oh, sweet. Yeah, glad you made it. Dill said, I went very light brown / dark blonde. The grays are less noticeable. Haha. Yep. Good one. Jenna said, I only see my hair on the drain. LOL. Yeah, it just kind of gathers up on the floor and gets together and just like I didn't just vacuum the other day. Maybe that's why it looks like I'm going a little bit older on the. That's why I like wearing a hat so I don't have to see that. One less thing to mess with. But anyway, at the Saturday show, they're talking about like just summer vacations. They would just go to places in the summer. And I was Anthony's mom or somebody, one of the ladies would just holler in through the neighborhood, we're going on vacation, we'll be back on. Anyway, they leave and come back and their house got broken into, and it's like wonder why when she like whoever was just announcing to the neighborhood that they were going to be gone for weeks on end. Everybody had different length sleeves. Jeff had like full length sleeves. Anthony had almost little cap sleeves. Frank had regular like t-shirt like sleeves, and then like Anthony Vincent was sleeveless. I'm like, we got a variety in here. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. So their house got broken into. And then the next day, was the Manson murders. So I was thinking, kind of joking around, like, oh man, like, did they think that the Manson family robbed their house? And then through the course of the night, that's sort of what Anthony had thought at the time. I'm like, that's what I thought too. I wasn't even there, but I made that connection. Need to get the cells on that. So yeah, so Anthony thought Sharon Tate was murdered across the street. I get it. I get it. I was there in the chat room. I get it. Beach Chef, glad you made it. Jenna said, eating and chatting, short and sweet, nice. Art said, yeah, don't dye your hair. It's a treadmill. Yeah, because then you start getting like that fine area, like the growth comes out, and then it's just gonna look grayer than the stuff that you dyed. So then you're just gonna feel older, and it's like, oh, I gotta cover this up so quick, or everybody's gonna know. It's just let it go. NT says, dudes, if you're balding, just shave it off. I'm not there, but that's what I would do. It's so much more of a badass look than the comb over. Yeah, don't be that guy. I worked with a guy like that. You're just hanging on to those last little whiffs of hair, just little sprouting out. It's really that far. Like it's dead. It's dead. Have a funeral for it and move on. Start wearing hats. Do something, but shave that sad mess. Patrick said, all you girls are beautiful in my eyes. Oh, thank you. Sweet talker. Oh, Dill says she's a girl. She's like, I'm a woman, but my son is a big golfer, and his name is Michael too. Oh, cool. Yeah, so the Manson family broke into Anthony's house back in the 60s. That's canon. Somebody called in talking about, like, did you remember this roller coaster? And said that the name of it, and people had died on it. Maybe the Wild Mouse in an NDA. That doesn't sound right. Maybe it was a Wild Mouse. I don't know. But then that got me to thinking, my favorite roller coaster killed somebody. And it was not the coaster's fault. It was not the park's fault. It was not a maintenance issue. It was 100% on the guy. Oh, when was this? I watched it. I was thinking about it, and then a video popped up about it within this last week here, and I watched it. I forget what year it happened, but the Cedar Point, the Raptor. When you walk in, it's over on the left. There used to be the pirate ride over on the left right before, and they got rid of that. And that's another issue. Then they put an arcade in, but it's a big green one. It was a big deal because when it opened in '94, it's the one where you're like sitting there and you can kick your feet because you can just dangle your feet. Like kick the sky was their slogan, and you can. Always love that roller coaster. I like sitting in the front. I like sitting anywhere on it. It's my favorite. I like some other ones there too, but that's my favorite. When was this? Like maybe 10 years ago? You probably heard about it because it was on the news. Uh, Normal weather day. I don't think it was going to rain or nothing like that. Just regular day. Dandy Pirate Ride was fun. Yeah, it's and like I think maybe the Blue Streak is right before that. That's like over 100 years old. You can hold your hands up the whole time. It just goes up and down like that. It's cute. But anyway, this dude goes on the Raptor, rides the ride. Everything's fine. Gets off, realizes his phone fell out of his pocket. Lets the staff know, and they tell him what you would hear in that situation anytime. Like, thanks for telling us. You have to wait till the end of the day because we can't just stop the ride. I'm sure that would piss anybody off. And like it wasn't about to rain or nothing like that, so I don't understand why this guy could not wait until the end of the day. So he decides, grown ass man, nothing wrong with him, to hop 2 fences to get to where his phone is. I don't know exactly where on the ride this happened, but as soon as he gets over there, the ride comes by, hits him, and I don't know if he passed away on the spot, but that was his last day. I don't know if he wanted to end it all anyway, and that was just his opportunity to. I'm really interested to know what was on his phone that was so important that now I would be worried about leaving my phone in the sun too. Don't get me wrong, but my thinking is, what information was on that phone that he was so worried about that he could not leave it sit there all day. He had to retrieve it immediately. I want to know that. But it was all the dude's fault. It wasn't, he didn't climb out of the sea, like nothing broke. It was nothing that the park or anybody else could stop. It was 100% on him. And I think after a few days or maybe a few hours, they've inspected the ride. Everything's fine. He hose it off, start it back up again. Lisa Gray, I've had long hair since preteen. Cut it once to my shoulders at 16. Trimmed it to my mid back about 10 years ago. I remember when little I thought my first haircut was going to hurt. Oh, yeah, little kids sit there and cry. Yeah, it's going to hurt. Arden said, I recently read Chaos, like a book called Chaos, about the Manson murders. Oh, sweet. Patrick, grass doesn't grow on a busy street. Good one. And T said, you fellas that have a girl that sticks it out with you, I envy that. Yeah. Same, but gender swapped. Michael said, Dill, there are no women on the internet, but I remember you mentioning your champion kiddo. Yeah, there are no women online. Everybody's a dude. And T said, I'm watching Grandma's Boy. Great movie. Haven't seen, but I've heard good things. I went in 95. I got my hair cut really short, like to the back of my neck, super short. And then the only other time I cut it was probably about 10 years ago. I just got sick of wrapping my hair around my hand 3 times because I had to wear a baseball cap. So I just took some regular scissors and just cut some of the ends off. And it was long enough to sit on. And I'm 5'3", but my torso's a little bit short. And Tia, Nikki is one of my favorite girls out here talking. Oh, thank you. Dill said, I hate roller coasters. I don't know if you ever heard of Dorney Park. It's 10 minutes from me, but I never go there. Now roller coasters do hurt, don't get me wrong. If I can go on roller coasters all day long, the next day it will feel like a minor case of whiplash because I have had real whiplash before. So if I do ever go again, I'll go on a Tuesday, ride everything, and then Wednesday I'll go to my chiropractor and get fixed up because that shit hurts. And I do have a bad back, so and I realize this, I understand all the warnings. Don't ride rides if all of these things. I realize that. I'll put up with the pain. That's why I'm there. Wheelie Bill Cooper, yeah, it's either a dude or a bot. Yep. NT, if you want to see my hair down, go back a few episodes. I was wearing my hat. I had my hair down. I was wearing a long sleeve shirt because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that much longer, and I was right. Can't even wear my hat. Oh, purple top hat. It's really me. B-Chap, that quite frankly is just a premiere, so that's just something from one of the prior shows that you've seen before. Michael said, who doesn't believe that Nikki is on anabolic steroids? I'm prepared to debate. Oh man, I don't even know how much it weighs. I mean, it can't be that bad. Like 102 was the last time I weighed myself. That's what I got to. That Anthony started talking about the clothing back in the day, and so there was Googling the stuff to get images of it. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah. I don't know the names of styles of clothes, but I know I know the way that they look. I just don't know the names. Same with English. I know how to use it, but I don't know adjective, preposition. Every time I learn those definitions, I forget them. I know I end up using it correctly, but I can't tell you what I can't teach. I hate that. And I don't know if I mean, I was thinking this, and I'm sure I said it in the chat room. Maybe other folks thought of it too, but I would seriously watch Anthony and Jeff have a podcast where they talk about music. I don't care if it's a half an hour. I don't care if it's 3.5 hours. I would check that out. Just make sure Jeff is not wearing like a super patterned shirt the way he was, like doing the tablecloth thing. That's gonna hurt my eyes, and it's good to go. Lisa Gray says Nikki does meth. Yeah, B Chap. I mean, if you've watched, quite frankly, the last, I assume it's something from in the last week. Then sorry about the noise. Please don't freeze. Jenna said Nikki will look cuter with shorter hair. IMO. I do have to show you that one time because if I did the thing where I hold my hair up. I actually did it once in an episode. I forget. I've done it. I can't do it now, but I can do it again. If I were to get my hair cut short, I would look like I would not very, just a young for my age 50-year-old. Because my hair doesn't do anything, but like it's not super curly. It might have a little bit of a wave in it. Uh, I don't know how it would behave. It would cut out all the frizziness because like my hair would be thicker because right about at my shoulders is when it gets super thinned out. So when I braid it, it just ends up looking like a rat tail. Michael says, Nikki is a powerhouse. Thank you. I'm just running on a lot of caffeine. Dandy said, I learned those from Schoolhouse Rock. I still remember those songs. And yeah, I do prefer to, I mean, I keep my hair down around the house, but nobody sees it. I just fly on it. You have that option too in the wintertime. If it gets too cold, like, dude, I'll just put my hair down. Okay, I'm fine now. And then you really do notice it, like the last couple of quite franklies, instead of just clipping it back, I have had to put it all the way up like this. And then it's hard to balance my other hat on top of it because it doesn't just sit on my head. It has to kind of do a thing, like I'm doing the get happy. So yeah, young for your age is always a good thing because it would just draw too much attention to. I kind of need it to distract from other things. So like if you're looking at all like the crazy hair that just died 2 years ago, it just puts too much focus on my face. Like I noticed having dark frames now, those gold frames, that's a bit much. You don't want to have that much attention on this face. And I'm not like dogging myself. I'm not saying this to get compliments. I'm really not that type. Um, Real quick though, I did notice because it was so hot in here and I was sweating. It got shiny on my cheekbone. I was like, dude, that's like highlighter. I've never used highlighter. It's not like highlighter on a page, guys. It's like highlighter makeup to make it look like you have cheekbones. See, I was making a point and then I forgot it. Something about hair. It's slipping away from me. Don't need it. I just like the hat because it covers up my bald spot. It looks so. The camera makes it worse. It's not that. Okay, that sort of fixed it. It's not that bad in real life, I swear. It's just the way the camera picks you up and the way your eye picks you up, it's so different. The way it kind of like gets rid of some blemishes, but it's harsh in other ways. It's so. Sometimes you can train your eye to see the way the camera sees yourself, but it's. If you start to get vision damage like I do, it really can't do it anymore. Oh, and we owe you, Bill Cooper, Keck, Rat Tail. Please do not let that come back no style. No, it's terrible. Because like my hair will be so thick right in the back, like right after the ponytail, like real big, thick ponytail. And then like as soon as it gets to my shoulders, that's when it starts getting suit. Like you can see, if I were to just hang my head, you could totally see through it. It just looks like a sheer sheet. Just so much of it has been pulled out and dyed. It just gets that thin. So just like I just end up braiding one super long, super thin braid is like you don't even have to tie it up at the end because it's gonna hold itself together because it's just 3 strands. Oh yeah, Lisa, have fun with the kids or the grandkids. I know what I was gonna say. Like really ugly girls make the mistake of dyeing their hair blonde, and it brings too much attention to their face, which just makes them look uglier. No, stick with your natural hair color. That's not doing you any. Don't shine a spotlight on that mess. That's what weirded me out about Horrible Bosses. Uh, I think I saw the second one first because it had Christoph Waltz in it, and then I saw the first one, but it has Jennifer Aniston in it. I never watched Friends. She was blonde on that show, and I never thought she was quite cute. I didn't think the blonde looked good on her. Watch Horrible Bosses, found out she's funny, but she has dark hair. It looks so good on her. She's so funny in that. Oh my god, in both of them. I didn't know the chick was funny. Like she's so pretty with dark hair. Nobody told me. And to yeah, humor in a beautiful soul is important. Yeah, it's better to have character in your face and a good sense of humor rather than to be just looking like a model and have no personality. Danny, what about a naturally blonde ugly girl? Well, then she can keep it, or she can dye her hair any color she wants, and then be like, "Oh, I'm really a blonde." Like, get out of here. No, really. The Monday show, Frank had on this fella. I'll spell his last name just because in case I say it improperly. I don't mean it out of disrespect. I'm just I don't want to say somebody's name wrong, but Scott Schara. Shara. Anyway, this is the fella who was on. He had just gone to trial for this back in 2021. He took his daughter to the emergency room. I forget exactly why. Her name was Grace. She was 19. She was a differently abled, born that way. This was after 2020, take her to the emergency room, and the doctors just kept finding more things wrong with her, and suddenly she had to be put on a ventilator, and suddenly she's not with us anymore. So this guy just got done taking them to court for, probably, wrongful death, something like that. I don't know the exact details of it. He didn't win the case, but the fact that he got his foot in the door, and he might be one of the first people to get a case like this in front of a judge is a good thing. He's started up a company and he's had thousands of people reach out to him saying they've gone through the same thing and have lost family members the same way. So it's just getting the ball rolling on these lawsuits to try to get some justice for these people who were unalived against their will, which is usually the case. And that's rude. That is very not cool. It doesn't matter what you're physically, mentally like. That's not cool at all. And dude's a man of God, and he's not being malicious about it. He just wanted to say his piece and get it out there and get the truth out there. So, uh, more power to him. He's got this. He's sitting in this room. It's like a log cabin. uh it's a legit log cabin. It's like the wood paneling going like this, so it's very cozy, very very homey. Like you just want to sit there and sip some hot chocolate. So he is doing his thing. Hospitals are evil. I got a bad back today because of that. I told you about how they killed my cousin in 2013. NT and Savage, which is what you are. We all love that about you, Nikki. Oh, thank you. Our Jennifer Aniston was paged when we were flying yesterday. Wow, was she in town? Like the real? I don't know where were you? What's up, Scott? A very good argument for never going to hospitals if you can help it. Yeah. Anytime I've been taken to a hospital against my will, it hasn't gone well, so I stopped going. I have a 9 millimeter answer to any physical problem that may develop for myself. Jenna, influencer today broke down the big beautiful bill. Medicare slash aid will be cut big time, so people with home and equity will be squeezed. Will cost about 8 to 12K for long-term care. We will need to pay. That is a lot. NT, that a girl, yep. Patrick, it obviously depends on which way the judge sways. If a Dem don't hold much hope for him. Of course, they're going to protect the big business. So I see why he didn't win his case, but it just the fact that he was able to bring it to a court is a huge step. It is really big. It's kind of like it's an honor to just to be nominated. Well, it's not necessarily an honor, but it's a huge step to just even be in court to present the case. They weren't just, oh, you'll never win. We'll never take you to court. They did just brush it away. Jenna, monthly charge? Holy shit. Jenna said, I'll tell the hospital to shove that care up their arse. Yep. When I ever went to the emergency room, I paid one bill one time. And then within about a month, I got two more for two different areas of the hospital. So I said no. So any other time I've gone, I haven't paid any of those bills. They've all gone to collection. And then eventually that got written off. So they didn't give me the care I needed. So I don't care to pay the bill. I got to use that money for street drugs now. Allegedly. So during the show, this was the Monday show. Dusty Blue asked, they said somebody, they asked which Zell lives in Maine. And I said, oh, well, that's Jim Zell up in Collinsport, Maine. That was at 8:28. And then at 8:35, Jim Zell called in. So they're doing that thing. They're going back and forth because Frank Zell called in last Monday. And then Jim Zell called in. Or wait, Frank Zell called in 2 Mondays ago. And then Jim Zell called in on this last Monday. So now Frank Zell has to call in. And they're just going to keep going back and forth. That is so cool. NT, Nikki is a type of girl I hope to find with her mindset and outlook, but never find. Art in New Orleans, I think someone was joking. Yeah, it's oh Brenda, glad you made it. Or like somebody's flying under a pseudonym, but they happen to just pick like their name is John Smith, but then they pick like, oh, I'm Ronald Reagan when I fly. So then you hear a page for Ronald Reagan, and everybody looks around for a dead president. Yeah, NT, get you somebody who doesn't watch the MSM and is into video games and old TV shows. You'll be set. If you look up Collinsport, Maine, it will show you it is up in Maine, but it's on an island. It's like a town on an island that's part of Maine on the coast. Where else? Um, it's technically a fictional town. Jenna, I went to the emergency room many years ago, and the doc coded my condition incorrectly and wouldn't change it. I went in there one time, something, and I know I had to use the word like vagina for some reason. I don't know if I was having pain there or just pain near there, but I was explaining to the girl in like medical jargon, and then like when she read back to me what I told her, I'm thinking like, what, you guys can't use medical terms for body parts? Just get out of the room, fat ass. It's already gonna be 3 or 4 hours out of my day. Patrick said they're lucky in Britain. They get free health care, but they have to wait a long time sometimes. Arden over the loudspeaker. Jennifer Aniston, please meet your party. If I could think of the name of someone, what was there a Courtney Cox there and The other blonde girl, like they're funny. I didn't realize those girls were funny because I've seen them do other stuff and be funny. Maybe Friends was good. I don't know. I'm glad I skipped it. Yeah, this was before that. We had the most hyper caller call in. This woman, her voice was high, her voice was low. Somebody asked if it was Willie Fixit's sister. I said, Willie Fixit's going to need to call in to calm us down from this woman's phone call. And she said she was an astrologer. I, that just went, I think she was tripping on acid. That call just went everywhere. Genesis says, socialized medicine sucks. IMO. It sounds like it does. Dill said I was in the Detroit airport years ago and someone paged IP freely. LOL. What Mr. Hugh G. Rection, a port report to the. Oh yeah, I was on that. Yeah, NT. Matthew Perry. What did he know? The chief who was on that show of Friends spoke about the worship of Lucifer. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, he did just die. Maybe within the last year here. I don't know what was going on with him. I have been watching these sort of like trashy celebrity type videos here lately in the last few days. William Bill Cooper said, socialized healthcare is not free. The taxes paid are outrageously high. Yeah, the money comes from, well, the people who don't need the service are the ones who pay for it. Patrick said, if it's an emergency, they get treated quickly. Tuesday show, I don't know if I said this or if I thought this or if somebody else said this, but the chat is never wrong. This is when Dilly was on, and I just did not realize. I don't know. He must be. He's awfully polarizing because half of the people in the chat room, it's like some people just straight did not care, but some people either really like the guy and they follow his channel, or other people just hated the dude and they were really just there. Like new people were there saying that, so like haters just follow certain guests, so that, like that happens all of the time. That was not new, but it was very like a very hard line for the entire show of folks like, hey, this guy's cool, he does cool stuff. Hey, I hate this guy, here's my reasons. It just kept going on. It did get out of hand. I mean, if you don't like a guest, you're allowed to say so. That's you're nobody. Well, one person was bringing up the man's children, and like that's one commenter I had to deal with. But yeah, aside from that, people were keeping it. The regular chat room stuff. It's everybody doesn't have to like the guest. We don't have to agree. It's not an echo chamber. They're free to not like anything. I just give the man shit because he's a millennial. He's younger than me, but if you call him that, he gets pissed off. I hate that pink neon sign behind him. It hurts my eyes. But he always uses a separate camera, so his head kind of blocks it. So cool for doing that. But I don't know the man. I don't know his sense of humor. So I don't know if this was ironic or if he's just doing it because he's in Florida and it's the heat. But he's got like his hair is super undercut, so he's just got the spit on top. But he's got this little man bun in the back, which is not okay. But I don't know if he was doing that ironically because it's June. I don't know if he's serious about that hair, but Max said Dilly has millennial hair. He did. And it got so far into it, maybe about 10, 15 minutes, and somebody's like, oh, does Dilly watch the chat room? I was like, I don't know. Frank has so many chat rooms. Sometimes guests do watch a chat room and they'll mention it, but it's the wrong one, like Pilled or Rumble or elsewhere. So I didn't think he did. I don't know. I don't know what people have on their screens when they're live talking to Frank. But then it got to the very end. And Daly's like, wow, man, your chat room really hates me, or something like that. I'm thinking, oh damn, I guess he is watching. But wait, he didn't say which one. So I thought it was us, but I'm like, we were actually kind of. That's a. I mean, we aren't quite that. Have seen it be worse, so that's not like the harshest we can be. But I guess he was watching the Rumble chat room, and apparently there's no moderators over there. It's just pure chaos, clusterfuck, wild wild west, and folks were just going off. So I can only imagine what was happening. If they didn't have animated emojis, I could potentially watch that chat room because a lot of times, at least three, more than once. Once is bad, but more than once is worse. People will come to YouTube talking about, hey, there's a troll in the chat room over on Rumble. And then Nikki has to go over there and do the job of the one or two moderators who are in there chatting away and doing jack shit. Oh, Michael Mel Gibson announced his 2028 candidacy tonight. Jenna, I don't like that the UK determined the life of a child. Oh, yeah, that's no. People donated to the child, but the hospital wouldn't accept it. Yeah, I've heard stuff like that. Like, hey, we're donating for this, like this child needs the surgery, but the hospital says no. Yep, that's murder. Arden says Friends was a very weird show. All right. NT said he's not a Dilly fan. Too much BS. That's okay. I was born in NT. I was born in '82. I believe I'm like 260 years old. John Rogers says Dilly has an almost perfect track record on what's going on. Oh, Michael said Dilly spun the fuck out. His channel comments were turning against him too. Oh, damn. Brenda, yeah, chat is funny. I know, right? Pardon. Scott said he went to the ER once, had an allergic reaction, was taken care of, but they kept me there all day because my blood pressure was a little high, and the nurse claimed I was there for a cardio event. Yeah, man, let's go running. Arden says, thanks, Nikki, for being a good mod. Yeah, I just gotta, keep the peace, sort of set the tone. You're not anybody's mother. Hey, don't be everybody just. I've seen this happen before in other rooms, like within the last year. It's everybody just, if this happens again, you're gonna get everybody stop doing this. Like it's way past the point when I would have done something too, and I'm thinking, dude, like this would not be a chat room I was moderating. This is madness. I would never have let it got this bad, but then they do, and then they want to say something after everything's spilt on the floor. Then they want to tell everybody to like, oh, beat. I do. This is such a clusterfuck, and it just instead of like just pointing out, they don't look for like individual troublemakers. They're not watching the room that closely. That's why you get that everyone tag. Everybody's not cutting up. 3 people are out of maybe 25. So why don't you address those 3 people directly instead of doing nothing and just being too scared to say something and then saying something too late? Like, don't tell me there's a fire hazard after the explosion. Brenda, yeah, just start to leave the hospital and they will suddenly find those discharge papers. Danny said, Dilly definitely brought some trolls to the chat. You do, it does happen. That's with every single guest. You're gonna get people coming in. Oh, have a good night, Arden. Just don't judge a guest by their followers. Sometimes you'll have a really good guest and just the people who follow them are just not fun to be around, or like maybe the people that follow them are really cool and maybe you really don't even care about the guest because like all these cool new people came in. or you like them both. You can have it all ways. Oh, this is one we figured out because Frank keeps bringing up AI since he's dating it. Frank has an AI girlfriend named Gail, Gail. Oh, it's AK's idea, but it was my name. And then the show ended early. We went through all that with Dilly. I thought we were gonna have some time to like chill out in the chat room. No, we ended at 8:48 p.m. I'm starting to think Frank drinks Because you saw him at the show when he's looking kind of yellow, kind of jaundiced, and then he got a liver transplant during the intermission. I think that at first I thought he was cheating on us with another chat room, but now I think he's been drinking. That's what's going on. Oh, I never drink. I barely touch alcohol. Glug glug glug. We're ending the show early tonight. He's hiding it well. Jenna said, if I don't like a guest, I just don't tune in. Yeah, like I still go to the show. I just tune out the words and just focus on what I'm talking about. So it's just that's what the chat room is there for. You know, again, it's if you're watching a TV show and you can't change the channel and you don't want to leave the room, you just start talking to your friend, and it's kind of like that. Frank with his AI and ball talk. Yeah, it's just nothing but sex with that guy. John Rogers. Trevor is a friend of Frank's. Trevor? I didn't realize this at the time, but on Wednesday, June 25th, I mentioned my kitten, Captain Hector Barbosa. He didn't even make it to 2. That's the day he passed away in 2017. That's why I won't watch the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean again. That's also why I won't watch the 4th season of Turn Washington Spies, which you kind of don't have to. If and when I do review it, I'm just going to talk about the 3 seasons I have, because season 3 of Turn Washington Spies is the best thing that happened in 2016. I said it back then, I'll always say it. It's just like an episode aired. I didn't like what happened on the episode. And then the next day, there I was. I was playing Final Fantasy VII, grinding away in the crater. And then my kitten fell out, and he went up to Lava Lamp Heaven. And I was too far away from my save point to save my game. And I was bulking up. I was grinding away. I always get 3 master materias of magic, command, and summon. So that means mastering 3 Knights of the Round materias, which is, I think it's 500,000 AP each. It's literally the materia that takes the longest to master because of that. I don't know how far I grinded away, but I was too far away from a save point, like I said, so I just shut off my PlayStation, and that was the last day I played video games. Michael, yeah, he fell out. He was just like, he was kind of sleepy, just a little bit like not himself the day before. Just, I couldn't quite put it on what it was. And then it was just like the next day, just like, I thought he was just sleeping like cats do. And then he just sort of had a reaction and then was like, had trouble breathing. And I didn't know what was going on. It's like, I didn't expect a cat that was not even 2 years old to die. So I didn't understand. And then I called the dope man, and I do not remember falling asleep that day. Called the dope man, got my stuff, got high. I don't think he got into anything. What happened with Hector was he was just, it's like it was September, the door was open, it was still warm. So I guess a cat had come into the house at some point, got into like a chair, like a back dining room chair, given birth, but just left the kitten. So somebody else I lived with at the time, like they found him, put him in a carrier. They're like, hey, we found something in the house. I thought it was a bird, but it was a kitten, like newborn kitten. So he was bottle fed. He never had mother's milk. Maybe that had something to do with it. Cause other than that, he was healthy. He was smart. He was active. He was slim. Normal kitten. But he just fell out. Jenna the Mod on another channel. Dill says Nikki LMAO. Yeah, Scott poor kid. Yeah, RIP Hector. Virgo. Oh, behind the curtain, that's the balcony, or I'm Breaking Bad back there since everybody thinks I'm on meth. I've got to watch Breaking Bad. And then apparently the next day I had to work, but I called off of work, but I got high before I called off of work, so I ended up calling up work like 4 times to call off work. And then I had to hear about it on my next shift, and I couldn't tell them why. Yeah, didn't appreciate that. But you can't tell people the truth in that situation. Friend of my dad had a mean terrier named Hector 45 years ago. I was just talking about H yesterday. Yes, specifically named after Captain Hector Barbosa, Jeffrey Rush from the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Oh, Beachap says I'm a moderator on only one YouTube channel. Michael, the balcony smoking is right there. I know when the window's there, it doesn't make any sense. Well, because like the fan will just blow the smoke. And... Right, the pets are my favorite beings, even the mean ones. NT Nikki, do more lives. Some of us are just weirdos like you. Well, I'm going to be live tomorrow at the exact same time, so you got that going for you. Suddenly, I'm on every other Friday. Now, Frank has not said anything. I'll get on. I'll get onto that later. I'm jumping around too much. Matt McCat was on the Wednesday show. He said he does have crows following him around. He would have a murder of crows following him around. I want a murder of crows following me around. I would love that to have that. Like, say, if you have the same kind of set schedule, you can do it. But he would. This was the same night Frank was looking super yellow, super jaundiced. The alcoholism is showing. Balcony, give a tour of the infamous smoking balcony. The balcony faces south. You're going to have the sunset on your right. Over on the left is the hot tub. If you want to see a video that's actually set, I didn't realize this at the time, but Grace Still Plays it uploaded a video from 2017 where he's like, it's VR and he's getting drunk at a wedding or something and like fighting people, and the balcony orientation is the same as the way I see it in my head. So I was like, oh, so I shared that. Dale, Nikki said I watched Boondock Saints yesterday. The scene where the cat got blown away. Yeah, I don't know if you watched my review of it because I did cover that because while like that's the line with me. That's the one thing you do not joke about with me is animal cruelty. Like I can joke about anything else except insomnia. So there's two things that I won't. I only have one joke for insomnia, but the other thing is not funny at all. But the way they do it in the Boondock Saints is like they don't, it's not gory. It's not like there's an extended shot of the cat. It's literally, spoilers for the Boondock Saints. But like a hand comes down on a gun, which I don't know how you can fire a gun like that in the first place, but it just happens to be aimed at the, critter. And so like, hand comes down, boom. All you really see is red on the wall, and then you see the actors like, that's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in my whole life, something like that. So it's not like they keep showing it. We're not seeing like blood running down. That like it's not gory at all. It's a second. It's probably 2 seconds long. They spend more time talking about it than showing it, so it's not. The beginning of Django Unchained is more disturbing. Not gonna spoil that. And it was just too much ball and pickle talk. It's the balcony faces south because when the sun sets, it's over. Like I imagine it over my right shoulder. So that would be west, and that would be east, and then north would be like where like on the other side of the building, like where that TV is up on the wall that we can't see. That's where that would be. Michael the Bunk tripped the hammer. Yeah, it might have been a revolver too. I want to use a revolver. Mine's are automatic. Jenna, I try not to give Holly Weird any support. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to any movies. The only film I would be interested in seeing, and I have brought this up before, because I do have my reasons. I would go see because they are it's I don't know it's probably like pre-production still maybe for they're doing another Mummy movie, but they have Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, my wife. So hell yeah, I would go see that, but I don't know. uh I could not. I don't keep up with current films enough to be know what's gonna be coming out. I get more excited when I'm going through Tubi or something and find old movies like I can watch that. They've got this. NT, do I ever do a balcony show at all? That's what this is. Matt's uncle was a boxer. He said his name. I know he said it before, and he's trained with some guys. Like you would know these names. Fuh. He's brought it up before. He said it on the Wednesday show, but that's a real thing. I don't know which side of the family though. Michael, lol, my reasons. I might just start up a show one day and just bam, like go start going into a review about the Mummy from 1999, completely unannounced. Because I don't know where you can watch it online. First of all, it's Universal, and at the time, the Universal logo was done by no, not getting into that now. Jules called. Jules and MD, the MD, people think she's a doctor. She called in. She does have a very pleasant speaking voice. Other people brought that up after the call, and I'm like, yeah, she used to be a stewardess or work on airplanes or something, so I'm sure she made the announcements and all that kind of a thing. Oh, real outside show. NT, I'm a YouTuber. YouTubers don't go outside. If I were, I wouldn't be able to see anything at all. It would be too bright. I'm blind after my shows just from my lighting here, and I wouldn't be able to see my phone. It would be shaky. There's no place for me to sit outside. I would have to sit in my car. Too many people film inside of their cars. Frank said his cousin shot a black bear, but he didn't say which one. So I'm saying it's cousin Sherry. He left it open. He should have said a name. He didn't say a name, so he left it open for that. Jenna says my fam thinks I'm nuts. That's good. But yeah, old movies from four and two, like black and white films, silent film, pre-code stuff, Charlie Chaplin films, way old stuff. Michael, my favorite medical pros are always incompetent. Oh, you would have loved my surgeon. So yeah, I hate when animals get hurt in movies, Dilly. Yeah, I just like, hold on, do I have to stop watching this? This is not cool. This is like, I realize it's fake. I realize no animals were hurt in the making of blah, blah, blah. But the fact they're showing it is not okay. Like body horror. Like, of course, we know it's not real. It's just a film, but we don't need to see somebody's arm broken in two places and just hanging on by the shoulder. Like, no, I'm not into that. Maybe at other, I really not. I'm not. I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm not really into gory stuff like that. And yeah, breaking the fourth wall. I was trying to explain that to John Volts. Michael thought it was Sherry too. Yeah, I mean, she's a Scorpio. She could do it. Just you got one wall here, and you got another wall here, and then you got the wall behind you. So you got three walls, but the fourth wall is one right in front of you. You're not like if I'm on a TV show, you would never look at the camera. You don't. You just don't unless it's a comedy. You don't break the fourth wall. It's and not even in every comedy. So it's sometimes it's very impactful. Sometimes it works. You don't want to be Jimmy Fallon staring at the camera all the time on SNL. Patrick says, I have a balcony that's about 14 foot by 12 foot. That's nice. Did I do a show at the water one night? There's docks with like parks at the we've got there's Shoreline Park and Battery Park. They're not beaches, they're just parks on the water. Right? We might have a beach that's on the other side of town. Michael, yeah, Nikki never had a fourth wall. Yeah, all of my shows have kind of been like this. I end up looking straight at the chat room as if I'm like typing and working it, quite frankly, instead of looking at the camera like it's a person. Because then you have to work out again, like I mentioned before, like you can't just stare at the camera the entire time talking to somebody because basically the camera is a person. So if you speak to somebody and you never look away, you look like a psycho. And I kind of hate to say that because I know a girl who's deaf, and like deaf people kind of have to stare at you when you talk because they're looking at your lips. So like it's creepy for like when you don't realize that. I'm gonna stop looking at the camera because that's weird. But if you look away all the time, if I did a 2 hour show and never looked at the camera, that'd be a little bit odd. Because like even Frank breaks the fourth wall sometimes. I said there must always be a cat in Winterfell. And Second Horizon said the sword and the stoner. But we got another sound clip. 8:08 p.m. Frank said Matt McCat. Somebody must have commented and said his name right. That's the night when Frank was asking the question, like when you have to tighten your belt, what do you do instead? You stay in more. Like how do you like cut back and still be entertained? Michael said he watched chat because we can't be trusted. Yeah, that's kind of a little. It's a habit too. Even in a smaller room, I forget like, hey, don't talk so much because then it just looks like you're dominating the room, whether you're a moderator or not. And like, I forget. It's hard for me to be in small rooms anymore because I'm used to how big this has gotten. It's hard to just be like one of four people. Sorry, just sweating like a pimp with one hoe. And that's why I could never watch, quite frankly, when he's not live, because then I would just be looking for the chat room. And, like, yes, you can pull it up and read it back, but then I'd want to be commenting on what people are talking about. And the fact that I couldn't would just feel too lonely and just, it would just hurt too much. So I can't. That's why I never watch back episodes. Quite frankly, it's almost as if they are live shows that you have to be at to experience. And that show ended early too. I really do think Frank's been drinking. But they were talking about like old commercials for games, like board games. And of course, Matt McCat would remember like the Cats, the musical, the commercial for that. I remember that too. Vaguely, I remember that when he said that. And this was finally on Thursday, exactly 3 p.m. Exactly 3 p.m. We got rain. It was probably only 15 minutes. Damn, it's good with salt in it. Then yeah, drunkard, yeah. That'd be like me trying to sit here and tell you I don't take caffeine or smoke out on the balcony. Michael said, I used to listen only and don't bother anymore. Chat's vital. Yeah, it's almost like you're getting two shows for the price of one because sometimes we are never talking about the show in the chat room. So if you can split your concentration, you get Frank doing his thing, you get us in the chat room doing our thing, and like sometimes the tone's totally different. So you're if you can absorb them both at once, like learn give it a few months, but if you can train yourself to split your concentration 50-50, you get more out of it. John Rogers says chats doesn't show up on replays anymore. Now that's a setting you can put in your settings in YouTube Studio, like the fact that there is no chat summary and the fact that there is no heart reactions emoji. That's a setting that YouTube lets you turn. It's automatically turned on, but you just go into the settings to switch it off. Danny, yeah, the chat is great. Two shows in one, yeah. Cause like the whole vibe can be different. Like, wait, what were we talking about at this time? NT, yeah, just smoking out on the balcony. Whatever Matt McCad is on. Yeah, see, Beach Chap's bringing up, said, I don't like when the Russian Federation members break into John Wick's house and take out, you know what happens in that movie. I started to watch John Wick because I wanted to get on with, I think maybe the fourth one was going to have Ian McShane. And at the time it was on Netflix. So I turned it on and they keep doing this thing. It's good for storytelling, but they should use a different sound where like he's keeps getting woken up by his alarm. I can't hear that. I've got tinnitus, and if it sounds like my alarm clock, I cannot hear that unless it's waking me up. And I said, if they make this alarm go off one more time, I'm switching this film off, and I don't give a fuck. They did it again. I switched it off. So at the time I stopped watching it, his dog was still alive. So I'm not going to mute it just to get, just no, I don't care how good these are. Nothing against Keanu Reeves. I'm kind of mad because I like Keanu Reeves, but bad choice for the storytelling. John Rogers said, I used to read the chats on replay. Yeah, that might just be a personal setting. They choose not to let that run. But yeah, thank you to Frank because Frank was asking in Discord if anybody had any questions for Rich or his other guests who were going to be on. It wasn't a question. I was just like, well, Rich needs to draw those spaceships that he keeps seeing. Because I'm going to start calling bullshit. Pixar didn't happen. So Frank did bring it up on the show like, dude, you need to draw those. And I guess Rich's wife can draw, or maybe his son can also draw, so they're gonna get that together. Because if he keeps seeing these spaceships, but he doesn't show us any pictures, what are we supposed to think? Oh no, I don't have to do that. Check out the thumbnail for the Thursday show because it's a picture we've seen of Rich before. It's on his website, but they got it cut off in such a way where it's like just at the bottom of the tie he's wearing, and it almost looks like it's black and white because he's pale and like his suit is dark. So when I first thought it, I first saw it, it looked like he looks a little bit sad in it. He looks like a Victorian child. The man is timeless. I don't know how he does it because he's maybe around my age in real life and we look like we sleep about the same amount with our luggage here. But that picture of him, it's like they photoshopped like the eye bags out, so it looks like he got some sleep, but it makes him look so young. Go back and look at it. Tell me that does not look like a 14-year-old Victorian child, like Frank was going to have a seance on his show and talk to spirits. I like Rich a lot. He's got so much energy. I really do want to know how much caffeine he takes. And it's sure he didn't want us talking about his tits. Wait, Larry? Lava Lamp Larry? What? NT Stoner survived. Damn straight. Yeah. Did I say reading your chat? The next when you're sober is painful. Dale said, I've never seen that whole movie. I turn it off when they go after his dog. Yeah, no. I can understand going on a killing spree for that reason, but I just cannot see that. But yeah, Rich's shirt, it was either dark blue or black, and it had these little tiny anchors just all over it. But with my vision just not being the greatest, at first I thought it was stars, like just like a starry night shirt. So we couldn't see his tits at all. It wasn't like bright orange like last time. So maybe he was watching the chat room. Like, honey, stop dressing so sexy for those people. Tony Gold was on there. That man just needs to turn on more lights in his room. He's got the picture of the Texas flag behind him, but he wasn't wearing a shirt that said Texas. Right. Like it must have overhead lighting, super light gray walls. That was kind of hurting my eyes, but his beard was even. It was perfectly even. Michael said Rich is a natural ADHD. Rich is a Florida man and a Libra. Oh, the guy John Wick went after also killed John Wick's wife. Yeah, he's got a He's got to kill everybody. That's why there's what, 5 John Wicks now. But yeah, I like Tony Gold until he decided he likes to suck AI cock as well, and yeah, that was nice while it lasted. Oh, today is Friday. Oh yeah, today is Friday. Yeah, GracefulPlays.com. Sorry about that. It's not my fault. Like I was saying, I have been watching a lot of these like just trashy, gossipy, celebrity mostly about like these perverts that get found out, or it's just like I don't keep up with Hollywood the way I did when I was or like 30 years ago, so this is stuff like I would have known if it still mattered. This is mostly about celebrities I really don't care about and don't follow. I just, being a little bit gossipy. NT, I'm on the spectrum, and most are not. We see things different from the real world. Oh, are you on the spectrum for being awesome? That's what Pickled Gamer said at his stream on his December 31st stream. That's New Year's Eve for you guys. Uh, what was it? So, well, I do care about this guy. I was a big Jim Carrey fan back in the day. Like I went to see all of his movies. Like I watched In Living Color back in the day. Went to see his movies. Got to see the Truman Show in theaters. And then at some point, I just stopped going. Just I don't wish him bad or nothing. Just he was just doing his own thing. But I guess when it started out with him when he was like first coming up, just trying to get recognized, he did a lot of comedy clubs, but like they got footage of the people just sitting there. They're not laughing, they're not smiling, not doing nothing because he's doing like spot on impersonations, but he's not telling any jokes. So that's why the people didn't get it. And that's kind of my point I was making before about some of the other guests Frank has on because they say they're comedians, but they're not telling jokes, so people get mad. That's a problem people had with Jim Carrey, and then he, things worked out for him. And then I'm just realizing this, looking around and like people pointing out, just people who don't like AI pointing out how bad it is, and like why do these just what really makes it look so fake, and I kind of figured it out. The AI looks because it's Satan, it's evil, but it looks like the art style with the lighting being wrong. It reminds me of I don't know if they still do this, but you would see this in like Latin neighborhoods more often. Like the drug dealer cars would have like the hood completely painted with like the sexy girl, or like really intricate graffiti. But like the way it's highlighted, like the whites are just a little bit too harsh. Like it's just a little bit too much lighting because you just really can't get that fading shading effect with spray paint. Even though it looks beautiful, like on a wall or something like that, like pretty graffiti is fine by me in the right place. Or like the way like when they try to make something look realistic in a tattoo and they get all the shading wrong. That's what AI looks like, except tattoos and graffiti are done by humans. So, like that, but worse. Like, if you take some really intricate, nice, stories, high graffiti, but have Satan make it, then you get AI. That's how it looks. Figured it out. Actually, Jim Carrey's birthday is the day before mine, so like people born in my cusp, I'm interested in what happens in those days between January 17th and January 22nd because it's only 6 days. It's not even a week, but a lot can happen. NT Nick AI is evil. Nikki, I completely agree with you. Yep, pure Satan. Michael, yeah, airbrush lowrider art. Yeah, like if they just a worse version of that. Like before you're good enough to put it on your hood and the side of your car. Like it's not my style of car, but it has its place. I appreciate the artistry that went into it. Um, Elvis Presley. Frank plays a clip of him sometimes where it's like him in his younger days, say like mid 50s singing, and then he's got like a clip of him in the late 70s, and he's like fat and sweating, and he's barely standing up, and he's singing and all that stuff. It's hard to watch, sad to see, because like what he died at 43 or something like that. But then I remember he groomed Priscilla Presley, and then I just start to think maybe the way he ended up was his karma. Oh, B Chap saying, the Shia LaBeouf film Eagle Eyes shows how bad artificial intelligence really is. Michael said that makes him want to get into AI. It's not gonna look good. It's your, but do it with your hand. Don't do it with Satan. NT, yeah, look up how Elvis and Priscilla Presley got together because when he was stationed over in Germany and she was something like 13, he got super interested in her, and then they used to like play pretend school, like he groomed her basically. All that stuff's out there and nobody around him cared. Oh, Nightcock, glad you made it. Nobody around him cared because all the guy, like, watch a documentary about Elvis and all the guys just like him because they got hit like the pussy that he was just didn't want. So that they just liked him because like they got more ass probably in 1 year than they would have gotten in their entire lives. So nobody cared that this man was just killing himself with drugs. So like nobody around him cared about him. But he was a pedophile, so it all came around full circle. Jenna said, I already had a genetic heart condition. And maybe just being like, normal people don't just drop dead from drugs at that age. So what else was wrong with them? You could have done more drugs. Come on, Elvis, get up. I mean, I don't know what his health was like from it, just that nobody around him cared about him. They just wanted to like get the ass that he was turning away, and that was it. Just make the good times roll. Nobody cared about his health or his mental health or just nothing. Just get him on stage. Uh, I did want to say because I had brought up the Legend of Zorro. It's the Mask of Zorro's part two. Because I'd watched it maybe once, and then I was just thinking about it the other day. And well, to be honest, I wanted to watch The Mask of Zorro, but Netflix didn't have it, so I watched The Legend of Zorro. Because I really have only seen that one maybe twice now. And I'm not light spoilers for The Legend of Zorro. I'm not going to sit here and like review it here in the last 15 minutes, but it's a stuff I didn't remember from before. A James Horner score. This took place 7 years after the first one. I believe it's the same director, same music. So it does sort of retain the same, like it's filmed the same. It does have the same campy feel to it. Like it's still shot well. You still kind of it does feel like an extension of the first film. However, it does have body horror in a way that like I didn't remember this. Maybe it's why, because I'm not into it. Like a dude gets hit in the face, and then he's like spitting out something. Like, oh, those are probably his teeth, I guess. And then later on, he's got wooden teeth. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like we really need to be focused on this ugly motherfucker. Like he doesn't already have like a scar and his hat and his hair. It just everybody is just too much. They do too much with the stylizing these characters. And then he's like thrown in her face right away. It is kind of forced. It does have the camp there still, but where they screw up is it goes cartoony. And it goes cartoony in the worst way because it's 2005. And what were they doing with special effects then? Like they do stuff with special effects then that is not in The Mask of Zorro, and it's to their detriment. It does not make the story better. Like it starts out like one of the first things that happens, like this could not happen in real life. This is a special effects thing. It really puts you off, but it really doesn't. Stuff like that doesn't come up again till the end. But too cartoony that they kind of force too much in your face. Too much Spanish. Yeah, some of the characters are a bit forced. I sort of believe Catherine Zeta Jones could fight off two guys wearing a dress, but only for so long. Oh, overall good. Did make me cry at 2 points. Like, oh, that's sad. But it is, shot well. It's just that I don't know if at the time that would have been thought cute, but it's just too cartoony. If they would have left that out, I think it would have done better. But it is not a bad movie. You're not gonna feel worse for having watched it. Jenna said, I'd like to see Frank do a show on fun facts on anything. That would be cool. Like Frank really should do a health show. He was a personal trainer for years and years. Like that was his 9 to 5. And in all the year, like he did mention doing like, oh, I should talk about health stuff. He's never done it. And I've been around for 10.5 years. Like talk about the health stuff. Like people ask him health questions, but it's never like here's a segment, and it's just Frank's advice about health. Like we'll have Jupiter Gulinello on. That's different. We don't want to be vampire healthy. We want to be human healthy. Phone made noise. Telling me I paid my bill. Uh, and what else? Oh, I watched this whole big. It was like an hour and a half thing long about Randy Quaid. A long story short, his wife's crazy, and that's why he's in the state he's in now. Same thing with Will Smith. Crazy wife syndrome. Also, I was never a fan, but apparently Justin Bieber married his stalker. I didn't know. For so many years, I would hear the name Hailey Bieber, and I didn't know if that was just somebody like just using that last name because it's a famous, like how Perez Hilton used the name Hilton just to get famous. That was not his real name. I thought it was just some chick because like Haley, who's paying attention to that name, but Bieber, people know that name, so I thought she was just using that name, or maybe that was her natural last name. No, it's what it is. It's Stephen Baldwin's daughter started stalking Justin Bieber, and it took about 9 years, but then she married him, and then they had a kid, but now it looks like he doesn't like her to touch him. They fight. It's like they're on the way to divorce. It's not a good situation at all. So like I don't. I'm sorry he ended up that way because I was gonna point out the fact that B movie actors are more likely to get some kind of like vulture chick hooked onto him to like get whatever money he has and think she's gonna be famous because she married him. But then here that's happening to like the air quotes one of the biggest pop stars of his time. Justin Bieber was everywhere. I like one of his songs. I didn't know it was a Justin Bieber song when I found it. Um, I'm sorry that's happening to him because we know what if he was a child hanging out with adults and they're giving him like substances and we can assume what happened to him. We know what parties he attended, so I'm sure he's got all these mental health issues and nobody to talk to, and then he's got his wife there and she's just there to get famous. Plain ass face. I'm like, okay, air quotes pretty, but like plain AF. Zero talent. All she was, or is, she's still alive. All she is the daughter of somebody famous who stalked another famous person and married them. No singing, no dancing, no acting. Jenna said, I'm hearing fireworks in my hood. They set off fireworks here often. Not often, but ever since June 19th. Nightcock said Will Smith came out with a new song to prove he's not gay, but ended up looking more gay. Yeah, that whole slap situation, all three of them look gay. And then I forgot about this because I didn't really care, but I forgot that Jada cheated on Will with their son's friend. I don't know if he was underage at the time, but anytime you're having sex with your children's friends, you're a pervert. So like she cheated on him, and then he's slapping a comedian for that. And yeah, talking about Randy Quaid long before anyone else spoke spoke publicly. Yeah, he was pointing out he's like Heath Ledger and Chris Penn and some others who would died suspiciously, David Carradine, all this stuff, and this whole Star Whackers thing, and on the one hand, he's not, he might have something in what he has to say, but he does have that crazy wife with him. And this might have been this week. Frank brought up people proud to be like disability pride something. I don't know if that was code for the Special Olympics, but nobody is proud to be disabled. Nobody is like showing off their new wheelchair, like, oh, check out this traction that I'm in, check out my neck brace, I blinged it out. Like, aside from the paparazzi video, nobody is like showing off their disability. Though I have seen this, I have been like in the hood making a purchase, and here's this like random people, like I don't even know these people. Why are you looking at me? But like here this chick comes out, and I don't know her, but she has to show me like this horrible shiner she's got because she let her black boyfriend beat the fuck out of her, and she's showing it off like she's proud of it. It's like, well, we know how you're gonna last, or how long you're gonna last. So yeah, no, I've never seen anybody proud of a disability. I remember one time in college, this lady was talking about like she got headaches so bad she couldn't even put her head down far enough to tie her own shoe, so she had to drive to her parents' house so her mom could tie her shoes. She didn't sound proud of that at all. Michael said, I flex my disability with every comment. I hate bringing it up, but at a certain point you gotta kind of have to own it. Like, it would be lighter if I could see better. I'd be so much farther along without the crippling depression and the heat. You can't do anything when it's hot out, so it's the same thing as being depressed. But you're sticky. And just lots of these creepy YouTubers. They're always texting 17-year-olds and 12-year-olds and asking for pictures and dancing and meeting up. It sickos. And I don't follow like popular YouTubers. I'm never looking for. I don't care who's popular on YouTube. Like, it's, to me the biggest channels are Gray Still Plays and Quite Frankly. So you can really tell me there's people with more subscribers than that. NT people should look into those secret societies more for sure. Why does every public shooter have a relation to the Masons? Why do people not notice hats, chains, backgrounds? Yeah, I look for that stuff. Like when you see that triangle swirl pattern. That's one of them. It's kind of sad that there's these people, like the young people. You don't think about perverts, and maybe in your 20s you're not really thinking about it either, but you just want to be entertained by these people uploading content, and then you come to find out like, oh, they were messing around with their cousin, or like had children over for pool parties or something weird like that, or they like hung out at a daycare. Like, what? Ew. And nobody questions it. Nobody finds out. Nobody, like, these kids are just not. You can't have helicopter parents, but I don't know how that happens. But I guess you just got to teach your kids to know when to, like, hey, know when you feel creepy in a conversation and you have to cut it off, whether it's online or in real life. Like, hey, this is making me uncomfortable. I'm not talking about the subject. By the way, I'm 16. I'm glad they get caught, though. I'm glad like these creeps do get caught and they're not just still out there, because there was that Shane Dawson. That guy always struck me as creepy because he tried way too hard to be like sincere and sympathetic. pathetic. He did a really good job of it. If you didn't know any better, you would think this guy was just so concerned about like this person he's talking about, this sensitive subject, and he feels so sorry for him and all this stuff. He was too good at it. He was too good at it. I'm like, why are you putting so much effort into being so sincere? Like people wouldn't take it just that little bit extra that set me off. Like, why? And then come to find out he's a pervert. Like, well, that's what that was. Michael said, Nikki making me think of that BX girl. Too much for me. I don't know her. Like, cock, that used to be taught, but that was for strangers in person. And he said, I come from a family on those adults that harm minors. People do not understand. Just, I'm glad my kid didn't have internet when she grew up. Yeah. I mean, 'cause there's regular, normal people out there, and then there's people just there for one thing to, prey on the innocent, and it's a wrap. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys had a couple of extra hours on I was gonna say Tuesday, but that's not right. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, don't take my word for what day of the week it is. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Good intuition, Nikki. Yeah, thank you. Oh, he said, nobody likes a quitter, Elvis. Get up. Yeah. Get up, man. Keep doing blow. What the hell? What's this so heartbeat bullshit? You fucking pussy. Get up. No. Yeah, Nightcock. Yeah, now you have to warn them about people being weird on Roblox. Michael said BX is the girl that exposed that satanic accelerationist group. Uh, is it like BX investigates? Uh, NT, all evil is taught behavior. Yeah, people don't start out quite that evil. You gotta be pushed into it like, hey, you know what you can do to make it worse? Oh, Jenna said she's gonna go listen to Dabu for 2 hours. LOL. So yeah, we're gonna do something just like this tomorrow. Probably the same kind of damn weather, but that's okay. You can't feel the humidity here. It's not so bad. It's still honestly, I'd rather have to deal with the humidity than have to deal with not being able to see when this ends. So that's yeah. Well, when so many things are bad, you have to like kind of pick and choose. Like, okay, which one's the worst? Okay, I'll focus on that, and everything else is just whatever. So it was a short week, but that's how they're going to be. Like this week coming up, I don't know what's going to happen because Frank hasn't said anything officially, but I can almost guarantee he's not going to be live for the 4th of July. And I'm pretty sure he was just saying either this week or the week before he's not going to be live on the 5th. But he is definitely doing a show on the 12th of July, which would be the week, following. Michael said, didn't Frank cover the 764 group or whatever they're called? Yeah, and I did just see a video pop up about that. I maybe I'll have to watch it to maybe that'll ring some bells because somebody said something about that 764 group did the smiley face murders. I don't know if that's true, but it's like, hey, we're maybe if they did, we're starting to figure it out. And T sick fucks out in the world, damn straight. Nightcock, high dew point is the worst when your sweat is sweating and it's not cooling you. Yeah, even my balls are sweating balls. Oh, beach chef, quite the opposite here. My hands are even cold. Oh man, I'll trade you. Jenna curtsy. Yep, I think that's right. So yeah, you can leave your pants on the floor if you're just gonna be back tomorrow. If you did wear pants, if not, I've got mine hanging up. There's really no point if you're just gonna sweat them right back off again. So everybody, take it easy, stay cool, get some good sleep, have a good meal, stay away from AI. Don't party with anybody you don't know. And T, yeah, no pants for all. Yeah, smoke out on the balcony. Don't do drugs. If you do have to be on camera with no pants on and it's not that kind of show, keep them in your eyesight. Because I'm a like an out of sight, out of mind person, and I can usually always see my knees when I'm wearing shorts. So if I were to just stand up, no, it's not that kind of channel. We owe you. Bill Cooper was great hanging out with you, Nikki. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. I gotta remember to watch my own damn show. Like, what didn't I do today? Oh, son of a. And it was like 15 minutes before I went live. The heat will do that to you. John Rogers says, have a good night, everyone. Jenna says, good night. Night cock, good night, y'all. Everybody, take it easy. Watch a movie, some trashy celebrity gossip. I don't know. It's just probably a bad habit from my old days keeping up with all of that celebrity stuff. So yeah, I love seeing you guys. I'm glad you had some time for me. Thank you for giving me a platform so I can see you guys whenever we want. Smash the like button on your way out. It helps out the channel. NT said, do more shows, Nikki. See you tomorrow night. I really wish I could. If there was a way for me to squeeze some more shows in, I would like to find a way. I do enjoy being I don't enjoy being on camera, but I enjoy being live seeing you guys. So that's more important than what I'd rather see you guys seeing me than that's more important than what I think about anything. Because you guys are the best. You guys are why I'm still around. So thank you guys for being Frank Lees and for being subscribed to the channel. And I can't end my show if I can't reach the button. Oh, wait, there it is. So I love you guys. And until next time.